Hi guys, how are you? I hope everybody's having a good day. I wanted to make this video because a lot of thoughts are coming up for me lately and I want to share them. Today is a big day for Ukraine. It's the Independence Day, 24th of August. Ukraine is turning 25 today, so congratulations to my beautiful country. But you know, my thoughts are a little bit not as festive actually today because I've started watching all these videos about Ukrainian independence, and I've noticed that there's so much war motives now in these videos and in these music and lyrics. And the more I watched, I realized that how my country's art form even has changed. You know, instead of being like all festive and positive and about love, it's now about war, about pain, about death, about lost love, and about our motherland. And it has been very saddening to see it, to be honest with you, because in the last 2 years my country has changed. I've grown up in a peaceful, neutral country that has never had any conflict anywhere during my lifetime, and all of a sudden now we are smaller because part of our territory has been annexed, and people are dying and millions of people are being misplaced and refugees everywhere. It's something I could never have imagined that would happen to my home. And here I am, living in the United States. I'm having a comfortable life, but it's just so painful to see what's happening there. And I wanted to share something because interesting thoughts came up for me. I remember always Ukraine has always been like the underdog, like the one that's kind of being attacked, and we keep fighting for independence, and always kind of by pieces. From the left it was always the Hungarian Empire back in the day, and the Poland, and then it was from the east it was Russian kingdom, and then there was the Turkish, the Ottoman Empire, and Mongols and stuff like that. So we've gone through our share of fighting for our freedom and independence and really staying and claiming the land where we were. And it's just kind of hard because I always felt like life is not fair. Like there's this big underdog from the east, and anytime something goes wrong they can basically attack us again or something like that. um it's interesting dynamic to live on that side of the equation, because what I realize right now, also in the last couple of years, how much stuff is happening with also the racism issue in US, and how black people are constantly speaking up, posting stuff, sharing, and a lot of times white people just dismiss it. They're like, why are you playing the race card? It's not current anymore. This is not happening anymore. This You're just making up excuses, and just a complete lack of acknowledgement or empathy of the real issues that are currently happening in this country, which is true. Like there is still racism in this country, even with a black president. So what's interesting for me is that dynamic between those people, that are just kind of clueless and they are not willing to take any responsibility. Now, I understand that currently those people are not responsible for what the ancestors did. I get that. And I understand that currently, for example, if I talk to, my Russian friends or anybody, they're not responsible for what their government is doing. And, a lot of them are intelligent enough and compassionate enough to the situation as well. But unfortunately, a lot of people, I'm sure in that country are not. And a lot of people in this country, like white people, are not either towards racism, for example. So it's just kind of interesting. I'm realizing that usually that side of the equation, like the bully, the big brother, or someone who has done maybe harm, they want to justify it in a way where they just don't feel guilty, and or they just want to dismiss it or say it's done and it's gone, and we moved on from that. But the truth is the impact of that is still currently present. you know it's still present, and the worst thing is, like, what people really need is acknowledgement. It's even in relationship. If you are in a relationship, friends or partners, and your partner does something that really hurts you, and then they're just like, oh, I just did it because of that. They create a reason, or okay, well, anyway, let's move on. That's not satisfying, right? You want the partner to acknowledge the wrong that they did and to create a connection, to apologize, to acknowledge it, and to move on. That's going to make you feel so much better. And you might even just forgive them and move on, you know? And the same thing goes with these situations. They're on a much larger scale and the impact is so much larger. But every single time, you know, in those conversations, for example, you know, when a white person just says, oh, this does not apply anymore, don't play a race card, you're just like re-injuring and recreating that pain for those people again. And the same happens right now, you know, with this Russian-Ukrainian conflict. The proof is in the pudding, you know. We've lost Crimea, we are losing part of our eastern regions, and moreover, which is the worst part of all, we're losing thousands of lives every day. You know, we're losing lives, we are having millions of refugees and misplaced people, and a huge damage to the infrastructure and everything. And unfortunately, they don't even get it, you know, like people don't see it from that side and they just justify the actions. Because, you know, it's always easier to be on the bully side and to not really face, you know, your own actions and the responsibility that you carry. So anyway, I don't know if that makes sense, but what's interesting for me is like I just realized the dynamic that in my life I've always usually kind of been on that other side. That's why I like love fighting for freedom and justice and stuff like that. And but it's just painful, it's just so painful. And that's why I really urge you, if you are on that other side, and it's not just Ukrainian Russia or blacks and whites, it's like the same with Syria, the same with, you know, Palestine and Israel. There's conflict in every freaking part of the world now. It's just breaking my heart. I don't know what the hell is happening. And you know, we need to stop it. You know, we really need to listen to the other side instead of justifying what's happening now. So if you are like, if you are on that privileged side, before dismissing it, just take a moment and really at least listen to the opposing party, you know, and see what they have to say. And you don't have to take that on, but just have an open heart and see their experience and where they're coming from. Anyway, guys, it's becoming a longer video than I thought, but I really wish that we figure this out as humanity and stop this useless killing and these wars. And I love you guys. Have a good day.